Once upon a time, in a galaxy far, far away, Martians and Venusians met and fell in love, had happy relationships because they respected and accepted their differences. They came to Earth and amnesia set in. They forgot they were from different planets. Men Are from Mars, Women Are from Venus is a popular book written by marriage counselor John Gray about how to communicate with the opposite sex. Gray provides a unique way for men and women to communicate and relate better by acknowledging the differences between them. The analogy he uses is extremely popular, however somewhat inaccurate. Men and women aren't quite so different as we might think. Some interesting points have been discovered about the communication between men and women over the years. There is a greater variability of communication style between women and men than between the two groups themselves. There are differences within certain variables and distinguishing tendencies between those two groups. A third thing to remember, sex is factual, gender is constructed by humans. It is important to remember that not every member of a sex will fall into the men-women categories, and that the differences in communication are just the typical preferences of each sex. Where did this battle between the sexes start? Some claim it was in Robert Reiner's 1989 film When Harry Met Sally. Harry says, "Men and women can't be friends because the sex part always gets in the way." Differences in male and female communication can be seen not only in this film, but are mirrored frequently throughout life. Number 1. When in relationships and social settings, women tend to value and attempt to establish connections, whereas men are more concerned with the establishment of status. Women are concerned with being liked by others, whereas men seem to prefer respect. Remember, not every member of a sex will fall into these categories, they are just the typical preferences. Number 2. Conversational styles. Another area where men and women tend to vary are in their conversational styles. Most women prefer to establish a connection as a result of their conversations. Men, on the other hand, tend to convey information with their words. Number 3 is listening. Listening is another aspect of communication where men and women seem to be extremely different. Typically, women tend to react with nonverbals or affirming noises such as uh-huh or mm-hmm. For men, these reactions indicate agreement, which changes their position of power, and because of men's lack of response, women conclude they aren't listening at all. Some final important things to remember. It is not only what you say, but how you say it. When two people with different conversation styles try to talk through their problems with each other, they may make things worse because it is their different way of talking that are causing the problem in the first place. Male and female conversational styles are equally valid. Remember, men are from North Dakota and women are from South Dakota. There are differences, but they aren't as vast as they may seem. We're all human. Keep in mind again that gender is socially constructed and not all members of a sex may fall into the typical gender roles. Personality plays a huge part in communication, and it is important to be able to recognize and accept different communication styles in order to fulfill needs in any type of relationship.